So I know this game has been dead for like a few months by now, but I don't fucking care. I'm gonna talk about it anyways. So yeah, this game exists. Friday Night Funkin' is a very interesting game, to say the least. It's honestly pretty cool to see such a great game that celebrates early internet culture get mainstream success, even though that ended up infesting all of Newgrounds with a bunch of 80-year-olds, but don't worry, we'll get to that later. Like all games that gain this kind of popularity, the rapidly growing community can range from great, creative, and very skillful, to whatever the fuck is in the front page of DeviantArt. I'm too scared to even use that website my entire life. Of course, this kind of shit has created divides when it comes to the game's perception from outsiders' view. So I might as well go ahead and set the record straight. About 4 months late, that is. So in this video, we're gonna look at what makes FNF a great game, and if the community is truly as terrible as it's made out to be. In this new series, I'll haphazardly name Great Game, Terrible Community. Get it? It's like contrast between the game being great and terrible. Oh, fuck it, let's just get started with the video. Okay, so for a bit of background on the game, Friday Night Funkin' is an indie video game created by Ninja Muffin 99, with art by Phantom Arcade and music by Kawaii Sprite, and was made for the Ludum Dare 47 Game Jam all the way back in October of 2020, where it subsequently blew up in popularity thanks to our old friend the YouTube Let's Player. And after this, we received more weeks, various crossovers, more banger music tracks, and a metric fuck ton of fan content. Of course, this is nothing new. We've seen this kind of explosion in popularity with many other indie games. But what I honestly think is so unique about FNF is its close link with Newgrounds and old internet culture. But for now, we're just gonna look into the basics of the game itself and why it works. The game plays like your standard rhythm game, most notably something like Dance Dance Revolution, with it even sharing the same 4-arrow control scheme. And just like DDR, the goal was to beat your opponents while fucking up as least as possible, which I clearly can't do as you can see from this footage. As of now, the game has a total of 7 weeks where we face off against various characters, both original to this universe as well as some recognizable faces such as a school shooter, Fortnite, and 2 fucking children. As for what I personally think about the game, yeah, it's pretty good. Despite not being good at rhythm games, like, at all, I can still enjoy this game and sometimes even win with enough keyboard slamming and racial slurs. In general, I can certainly say that the game is pretty good, with fun gameplay and some unironically banger tracks. Like sure, these tracks aren't as good as something like, I don't know, Persona 3 or Sonic CD, but they're still pretty good and not complete garbage as I've heard some people describe them, as well as the whole game serving as a great and loving tribute to Newgrounds' history. Before I get into the community, I think it's important to quickly go over Newgrounds' culture and history to get a better idea of how it was before and after it all went to shit after the 80-year-olds watching the shitty FNF clickbait content on YouTube invaded. Newgrounds is a site that needs no introduction, to be honest, with it serving as the host of many famous works, most of them being made in Flash, ever since 1995. Of course, with a site and community that old, there's gonna be a lot of very specific culture of slang, inside jokes, and other retarded shit. Newgrounds in general is just filled with even the smallest details of references and overall love towards the site's history, like some other video sharing platforms. And FNF plays tribute to this and many of the site's most iconic characters by a very large margin, which obviously gave it a lot of popularity not only inside, but outside the platform as well, eventually leading to an explosion of the game's popularity and a shit ton of traffic into this site from young kids who were only really there to play the game. Most notably during Week 7's release, since it being exclusive to the site for a while made the Newgrounds servers fucking implode and the entire site was unfunctional for a while. I can still remember that like it was yesterday. Speaking of which, The FNF fan base is very unique, to say the least. You could even say it's peculiar. Similar to other indie game fan bases like FNAF or Undertale, the community is filled with very talented people making impressive content based on the game. So many in fact that would probably take me an eternity to list them all out. But just to give you a taste, let's take a quick look at the Game Banana page for the game. Game Banana is a site used for making, sharing, and downloading mods for various games, with FNF being one of the largest games in the site recently. If you simply go to the home page for this game in the site, you will see thousands upon thousands of different mods for the game, with their quality ranging from awesome to whatever the fuck this is. Hell, there's so many mods that there's at least one for literally anything. For example, if we were to look up something like, I don't know, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we can see that there's a bunch of mods here, and of pretty good quality actually. Of course, there's the mods that are very popular among the fan base, and there's also the ones that are objectively perfect, but in general there's a lot to choose from if you want to customize your experience. And it's also relatively easy to install these mods into the game thanks to the help of FileDaddy. I've used mods in stuff like Sonic games on Steam for a while now, and compared to this, installing those mods in mod loader seems near impossible. Instead of having to mess with the in-game files and drag and open WinRARs and all that shit, all you really need to do once the loader is installed is click the one-click install button, and that's honestly really cool, since it lets absolute fucking normies that don't know what a 7-zip is enjoy the fun that mods bring to the game. Of course, not everything is sunshine and rainbows, as the community is hated at large for, let's just say, a lot of reasons. With a lot of fast-growing communities like this one, a bunch of kids, and mostly Brazilian kids for whatever reason, get into the fanbase and start being annoying as kids usually do, therefore staining the game's reputation in the public eye. As for the other, and honestly worst problem for the game, that is also faced by similarly popular series, is burnout and oversaturation, thanks to shitty clickbait YouTubers milking that cash cow until it's drier than the average League of Legends player's shower. Video after video of absolute fucking garbage. Just the same old clickbait, mass-produced content that is designed to exploit the algorithm. And since kids will eat up literally anything, this kind of content still thrives. Don't get me wrong, this kind of shit doesn't ruin the quality of the game itself, and it never should, but it's a problem that's just too large to ignore, especially considering how it is pretty much defined how the game is seen by most people. At least at the end of the day, when the hype around these kinds of games dies off, it's easier to enjoy them while ignoring all the negative aspects of the community and just casually interacting with fellow fans. Yeah, the community can be terrible overall, but as long as you stay away from them and only interact with the actually fucking sane people, you'll be perfectly fine. At the end of the day, this game still stands up, and it will probably go big again once the full game releases. And despite becoming infamous thanks to a lot of dumb shit in the community, the game is still very enjoyable. I give the game around a 7.5 out of 10 ranking overall. I guess I'll also give the community a 4 out of 5 on the cringe-o-meter as a final touch. Well, that's pretty much it. Don't know how I got this much content out of a rhythm game developed in a few days, but there's that. For now, I'll probably take a short break, and after the new year arrives, I guess I'll just go back to talking about anime. After all, I've got a lot to talk about, such as the new Bleach anime, Spike's Family, Chainsaw Man Part 2, not that, and... wait, doesn't it still take place in 2022? No!